Welcome back to Sweet Nine Reacts, and today's video is going to be about parents choosing to pull their kids out of public school and homeschooling them. I'm going to get into the reasons why they're making this decision to take their children out of school and homeschool them and teach them themselves. So we're going to watch these videos and see what they have to say about this. Let's get into it.
I don't know what's going on right now, but I know I was watching the news and I seen where a lot of parents are starting to pull their children out of school. The number has skyrocketed for parents want to take their children out of school. It's a lot of different reasons. One reason happened to be bullying. Another reason happened to be the academic system or curriculum, however you want to say. Then I think I seen something about something is coming, so it's best to homeschool your children. I don't know what that something is, y'all. It was a safety concern. I've been feeling this way. My children been homeschooled for going on a year, right? Going on a year. The end of last school year and this school year, they've been homeschooled, and baby, we doing fine. It is very challenging. You're able to do what you want to do. My children do 4 hours of school. We don't do school all damn day. You don't need school all day long. For 12 years. And when them children graduate, they still don't know shit. They don't know nothing. They can't remember all that stuff they learned in school all the way back to kindergarten. Hell, they probably can't even remember what they learned before even the summer was out. Half summer break, they go back. They don't remember what they learned last year. I don't know, but it's a lot of different reasons. But for it to be on the news, I had to go do some Googling. I was like, what's really going on out here? I was really thinking about letting them children go back to school next year. Yeah, they don't want to go back. Some of them do. But they just want to go back because of friends. They want to play. She definitely don't want to go back to learn. That's not why she want to go back to school. She want to go play. But anywho, so they do have homeschool programs where you can meet up with other children and stuff like that. I'm just not with it. We can go to the park. We can go out to eat. We can go little field trips and stuff to the bookstore. But as far as me going to meet up with strangers, I'm not with that. But baby, we learn real life stuff. They learn how to cook. They know how to clean up, read, write. All that stuff come along with it. But they need to learn real life stuff. What to do when mama not around. What to do when you're done with school. How to do a job application. How to fill out your doctor's papers and stuff like that. That's what they need to learn. How to balance a checkbook. How to save money. How to fix stuff when it's broke. Like, real life stuff. They don't learn shit in school. But I wonder if that's the real reason why all these parents are all of a sudden just taking their children out of school.
See, with those skills, parents can teach their kids those skills. You really don't need a school. And they're not going to actually teach them those skills and the basic living, how to save money, budgeting, even shopping for food, the right food to choose, and cleaning your home and fixing your car and just maintenance on the house and daily living. You're not going to learn those skills in school,
I do know everybody can't do that because y'all got to work. Me, I work outside. They come with me. Then we come and do schoolwork. Next year, I think we're going to try the virtual learning with the teacher because, baby, I don't be knowing some of this stuff. We have to Google it. And everything is on their level. But if you have pulled your children out of school this year, y'all let me know. What's the reason?
I cannot be the only parent considering completely withdrawing my child from the public school system. That way, when it hits the fan, I don't have to get to them. They're with me. Because even if I got to them, who's to say I would get to them? You know what I mean?
If you're new here, you probably found me from a reel that I talked about where I homeschool my kids for 2 hours a day or less, usually much less. And that was real controversial. So welcome. And yes, I mean everything that I said. It usually takes us about an hour to do book work. Besides that, they're playing imagination play, they're outside, they're practicing things that are meaningful to them or important to them. They're being bored. Don't get me started on boredom. I'm going to have to make a video on that later. I have so many thoughts. I don't think we allow our kids to be bored enough in today's society. But anyway, probably the biggest reason is I wasn't seeing them being at school for all of those hours. I don't know how I'm supposed to be the loudest voice in my kids' lives when I'm not seeing that. It just felt like a huge waste. I have so much more to talk about in regards to technology, AI, where I think things are going for our children and their education. I think I'm going to make this a whole series where I kind of talk about standardized testing, money, socialization, all of it. I have so much to say. So if you're interested in any of it, stick around. If not, move along.
Now, I just watched a video stating that Colorado's public school enrollment has dropped by 10,000 students because parents are now choosing to homeschool their children. and I think it's a good idea. After watching that video that has been trending on social media with the high school students out of Philadelphia not being able to even read the index card, I think, yeah, parents should be responsible for their children's education. And it's not because I believe that the teachers are bad, because I actually think that the teachers are good teachers. It's just that they're tired of babysitting your children for that many hours of the day when they're not even paying attention and they're playing around. School has become more so like a distraction. It's a good place for kids to meet up and play around for a good majority of the day. And I'm not saying all children, because I know some children actually go to school to learn. But for the ones who don't, it's a playground. And that's not even to include all the violence that goes on with people's kids getting bullied, beat up. And this is just stories that have been in the news here recently. If parents have to become responsible for their children's education, that means a lot of this playing around would stop, because it would be on your hands if your student has been doing nothing all day long. And it actually may make them better prepared when they're ready to go off to college and into these trades, because they're not spending the whole day in group chats and all of that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I know, here I go again. But I felt impressed upon my spirit again to share this. Christian parents, Christian teachers, administrators, those of you that work in the school system, parents that have their children in public schools, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to make a strong decision as it relates to your children, as it relates to your profession, teachers, administrators, as to where you stand and as to whose side you're on. We are in the day where a line is drawn in the middle of the sand, and you are going to have to reveal, expose, declare, and show what side you're on. If you're on God's side, then you're going to have to go to God's side all the way, which means you may have to pull your children out of public school. We may have to figure out homeschooling and how that works, or finding a Christian school, finding schools that's not promoting and pushing this same gender lifestyle, and making the kids feel like it's okay to choose what sex they want to accept. There was a African American nurse that worked at an elementary school, and there was a little boy that hurt himself, had an accident, and had to go to the nurse's office. And the nurse, was supposed to change his clothes. And when the nurse went into the book bag to change the little boy's clothes, there were girl clothes in the backpack. And when the African American, she was an older lady, when she looked in the book bag and saw girls' clothes, she automatically assumed that those clothes were not the young man's, the little boy's clothes. And so she went and found some boy clothes to put on the little boy. Well, the parents were upset because she did not put the girl clothes on their son, because he wants to be a girl. And because she put those clothes on that little boy and the parents were upset, the school fired her. And the lady said, "I'm glad they fired me. God is going to take care of me, because I am not putting girl clothes on a boy."
Right.
She said, "I'm not doing it. I won't do it then, and I'll never do it." And so that is the type of stance that we're going to have to take in this last day, even if it's an inconvenience to us, even if it goes against the majority, even if it's not the popular thing to do. God is causing the separation, the line drawn in the sand. He's causing that to happen now. And we are really getting ready to see who's for God and who's not. The prophet Elijah, he gathered around all of the false prophets and the leaders of that day. And he gathered them around Mount Carmel, and he says to them, how long are you going to halt between two opinions? How long are you going to teeter-totter between right and wrong? How long are you going to want to serve man and serve God? How long are you going to try to be in the gray area? He said, if you're going to be for God, then be for God. But if you're going to be for Baal, then go ahead and go for him. But what we cannot do is do both. Parents, teachers, administrators, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to trust God for provision, trust God for employment, trust God to provide a safe place, parents, for your children to learn what is right and not what's being pushed in this culture today.
That's powerful there, what she just said. Yeah, it's up to the parents to make the decision on whether they want to homeschool their children. It's going to be rough because some parents do have to work, so they won't be able to. So, but if you're able to and you want to try it, hey, I say go for it and see, because schools today is different. It's not the way it was when the parents was younger. Everything changed. You want to just step in and just teach your children what you want them to learn, also. So, basic reading, writing, math, all that stuff, they can learn it from home. My kids, when they were little, when they were in school, they learned stuff in school, but when they came home, I still taught them stuff, and I would actually go over and look over everything that they was learning in school. And then if I see something not right, I definitely would say something and have them and correct them and tell them, no, this is how you do it. So, at the end of the day, you're your child's teacher anyway. So they're gonna learn from the parents. They need to learn from the parents. So you are their role model. So yeah. So let me know what you think about this video. If you're making a decision on also homeschooling your child, if you think this is the right thing for you to do with your children, if you do homeschool your kid, or if you just rather have your kids in public school and be around other people, their peers, it's to each his own. Even when they're homeschooling, though, you can still find organizations that you could put your children in groups where they can meet up with other kids. So it's not just necessarily having to only see kids when they go to school. They can see kids at public facilities, like YMCA or any kind of place, programs that they have after school. You can put your kids in where they're interacting with other kids. So, yeah, this is a very interesting topic here. People pulling their kids out of public school and homeschooling them. It's very interesting. Okay, so if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe so you can see more videos. And if you like this video, don't forget to like it, comment on your opinion, what you think about this, and share the video. And if you know somebody who's interested in homeschooling and want to hear more information about it. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Until next time, bye.